Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Bad Movie Night. My name is Chris. Tonight, I checked out a movie called I Am Toxic, or Soy Tóxico. It is directed by Pablo Parés, and this is a Mad Max inspired zombie movie, which are two things that sound pretty awesome together. Movies, not so much, but we'll get to it. This is about a guy who wakes up in the deserts, quickly finds that there are these dry ones, as they call them. They're essentially just zombies, and is picked up by a few scavengers and taken back to their lair, where some hijinks ensue. So, its Mad Max influence is certainly in its world building. I think Mad Max does two things really well, at least the subsequent movies. The original movie's kind of a different beast. The Mad Max movies do world building and spectacle, both pretty fantastic. Mad Max is like such an interesting world with all of its characters. They're all so crazy and, utterly unhinged. They all dress weird. They do weird things. You see these societies are rebuilt out of this apocalypse in interesting and fun ways. And Max is kind of this view into this world. He's a lot of times like a silent protagonist. And that is echoed in this movie with our main character, who essentially has like maybe 10 lines, while the other characters do speak quite a bit. The other thing, like I said, Mad Max does so well is spectacle with all of its crazy car antics and stunts. You've seen Fury Road. The movie's incredible with its effects. This movie is if you took a Mad Max inspired movie and just did none of the spectacle. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work. That's not to say that there isn't some cool things about this movie. Notably, I think the look is really awesome. It feels dry and it feels like a wasteland in a lot of ways that Mad Max does, but there's dust and sand everywhere. Everybody's skin looks worn and dry. The makeup effects and everything in this movie are really well done. It's a grimy and gritty world. It's also very probably low budget, but I'm not sure. But it seems to be because of how small scale it is. It has like one setting piece where it's this like old abandoned factory type thing. It looks great though, it really works. The zombies also look really good. The problem is there's like zero narrative depth to this movie. There's not even much of a story. And you can say that about a lot of the Mad Max movies, not the original, but The Road Warrior is a very simple story. Fury Road is even more of a simple story. But again, those movies have a lot of spectacle. They also have a really, really awesome main character who, while he doesn't speak a lot, does have a really awesome persona and just looks badass. This movie doesn't have any of those things. I do like a bit of the world building they do in this movie. And this is maybe slight spoilers, but you see it at the opening where there's these planes that are just dropping bodies off. And you quickly come to learn that in this world, the northern and southern hemispheres are kind of living different lives, where the northern ones seem to be waging this war, and they drop their infected off into the southern hemisphere, and just these southern hemisphere people are just kind of scavengers living amongst the sand and these zombies. There is a bit of social commentary here, how the northern hemisphere is just dropping off its garbage into the southern hemisphere. I mean, this is an Argentinian movie, so it's there, but I just wish it had more bite, or wish it had more, effect in the storyline besides just kind of like light social commentary. There is some action sequences that are okay, but for the most part, it's kind of a boring movie. It has a good look. A couple moments where they have a car that looks like a Mad Max car, and I was waiting for the exciting car chase sequence that never comes. The zombies look cool. I just wish they were used better. They're barely in the movie. They're touched upon here and there, but they don't really have much effect to anything. It's mostly about these crazy scavengers that our main character kind of runs into. And it's not like the scavengers are really that interesting either. I mean, in the Mad Max movies, you got Master Blaster, you got Lord Humongous, you got Immortan Joe. These are all heightened and super crazy fun villains. And this movie is just a bunch of dirty scavenger guys. And they're all gross because there's this woman who is a victim of them. She's had her tongue cut out and she's just abused by them. And it's kind of really sexist and dumb. And I guess by the end she does get some empowerment. But the movie plods along in such a way that nothing kind of really hits in this movie. And by the end, it all wraps around to the beginning of the movie that I guess is supposed to be satisfying, but it really wasn't. It's just kind of a boring, dull movie, unfortunately, in a world that's kind of interesting. There's a lot of movies that are inspired by Mad Max, but not like to this extent. I mean, there's a ton of like 80s Philippine Sergio H. Santiago movies, like Dune Warriors and stuff like that certainly go for that Mad Max thing. They're all pretty bad in a lot of ways, but some of them have moments. I haven't seen anything too recent besides like some sci-fi original type stuff that really nails the aesthetic outside of its cover artwork on its DVD. And for this movie, I think they did really nail the aesthetic, which is why I was so interested in seeing it. So yeah, I Am Toxic or Soy Toxico. It's out now. I mean, if you're really into Mad Max and zombies, there's a little bit there for you, but for the most part, it's kind of a miss. So if you've seen it, let me know what you think. But yeah, that's gonna do it for I Am Toxic. Let me know what you think, and then let me know what I should be watching, and I'll catch you here next time, guys. Bye.